Hello, 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 magic makers. It is Bronley from Star Collective. So I wanted to join you today and talk about manifesting. Now, there's a lot of talk about law of attraction and, what we manifest into our life, how we attract things into our life, and how do we do this, and it's one of the big topics of conversation and discussion everywhere, really, particularly in spiritual communities. I wanted to share with you some of the observations that I have made around this over my 25 odd years working as a healer and in spiritual practices, and just also in my own personal experience in life, to give insight into some of the things that I really feel are not addressed, right? It's like when we talk about spiritual bypassing and everyone wants to be positive all the time. It's the same kind of thing I find when we talk about things like law of attraction. It's like everybody wants to know, how do I use it? How do I use the law of attraction? How do I manifest, right? Just like the whole, power of positivity, and it's completely impossible to be positive all the time. It's also impossible to be constantly utilizing the law of attraction and manifestation in a positive way. When we're talking about positive and negative, think about everything is energy. We are energy, right? We are predominantly energy. We're contained in a physical vessel, but we are predominantly energy. We are a body of energy. We are a body of water. Water is energy, right? So energy is basically works by negative and positive ions, charges working together, right? Kind of pulling in different directions, but also attracting, right? So this is how energy vibrates. We talk about frequencies and vibration of energy. Energy vibrates along the continuum. This is how the vibrational forces of energy create matter, right? By the interaction of these negative and positive particles and things that are floating around in the atmosphere. So this tells us then, logically, if we are going to look at things like the law of attraction and manifesting, that we need both the negative and positive. I'm using quotation marks, right? Because again, we perceive things in a certain way. So when we talk about something being negative, like I don't want to attract that into my life, that's negative, or I want to get rid of the negative in my life and only attract the positive. When we talk about that, we're first of all creating judgments around our experiences and just our life in general, and really all of our interactions, all of our connections. We're creating judgments around those, right? Is that a good one or a bad one, a good one or a bad one? There really is no good or bad. It just all is. But as humans, our ego likes to fixate on what's good and what's bad. Now, there's a very good reason for that, and that is because that then becomes a bit of an internal barometer for us to understand when we are vibrating in the higher frequencies, right? So we perceive things as good or bad. And this is to, like I said, inform us, right? We've got this energy flowing through us, and we have the feels. The feels are the energy flowing through us, the energy in motion. So the energy in motion is telling us, expressing to us what feels good for us, what is a higher vibrational frequency that we're attuning to, and what doesn't feel so good, it feels a bit dense. We're attuning to a lower vibrational energy, right? So this is the negative and positive charges that are all floating around there in the universe, working together to create. We need all of it to create. That's why I say it all just is. There is no real good or bad. It's how we perceive it. We come into this planet with a vortex of creation. We know this to be true because babies are the ultimate creators. Babies have no capacity whatsoever physically to go out, get a job, make money, feed themselves, clothe themselves, house themselves. Essentially, as a baby, we come through with this vortex of creation. What our vortex of creation is a calling, if you will. The soul's code, or the soul's calling, is like the unique thing that we all come through attached to, the thing that makes us unique, right? We're not all robots walking around living the same life, doing the same thing. Well, we're not meant to be. We're meant to be living our individual unique experience and bringing that individual unique experience as our lived experience to the rest of the collective, the planet, to all of everything that we're a part of, right? We're born with this vortex of creation that is in alignment with this divinity that we bring through with us, because we are born to create something that is uniquely ours on this planet and to give that to the collective. So it's about giving and receiving, right? We're on a journey of giving and receiving, of giving our gifts and sharing in the gifts of others and receiving those in kind, right? So like when I work with a client, for instance, I am giving of a gift that I am here to share with the world, and the client is partaking of that gift and receiving, right? And they give me something in return, and it goes round and round, right? And this is how we create this beautiful, connected collective of giving and receiving in kind with this amazing energy, right? And we attuned to this vibration of creation. Kind of went off on a tangent, a related tangent, but so we have this vortex and it's aligned to our divinity. So in essence, and we know this as babies, like I said, because as babies, we don't come onto the planet and go out and get a job so that we can feed ourselves and clothe ourselves and accommodate ourselves and provide ourselves with the loving and nurturing we need. We create that as we come through. We create that before we come through. The divinity within us creates that for us and aligns us with that in our vortex, right? We are so aligned when we are born. We are in our vortex of creation and we are just aligning with everything in there, and it's all coming to us, coming to us, coming to us as we need it, right? As the human experience determines, we need that now. We're ready now for this to come to us. We're ready for this to come to us. We're ready for this to come to us. And that's what it does. Keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. What switches off that flow? What switches off that flow? Because our vortex of creation doesn't go anywhere. This is where we start to understand the law of attraction and manifesting in a much deeper way, right? It's not just, what do I want to attract to myself? How do I get $1 million, right? It's not just that. The law of attraction is happening for us all the time, constantly pulling things from our vortex. Like any universe creation, our vortex, it's filled with the good, the bad, and everything in between. So where are we aligning? What are we lining up with in our vortex at any given time? This is the fundamental premise, the foundational premise behind law of attraction is what am I lining up with in my vortex? So I almost call this live, what you are seeking is already yours for the taking, because it's true. Right? So we are always seeking something. When we're talking about law of attraction and manifesting, it's because people are seeking, they're wanting, right? I want that, I need that, I want that, I'm chasing that, I wish I had that, right? I want to manifest that in my life. So there's a couple of things that happens when we're wanting something. First of all, generally when we want something, then everything has, like I said, there's, negatives and positives to everything, right? There's like the opposing forces working together to create. We have this continuum. It's like there's love and hate on one continuum, all of these things are all on the same continuum and they sort of work in conjunction, right? And it's just about where we are on that continuum. It's kind of like a seesaw. You know how a seesaw, and you get to the center and you don't move, you just sort of sit in the center. You're not swinging up and down. When you're on the ends of the seesaw, you're like this. You're like, whoa, I'm up here, whoa, whoa, whoa. But if you sit in the center of the seesaw, you're kind of just here, right? You're centered. This is the whole idea of centering, right? Centering and balance is about finding that balance on the continuum for you. And again, everybody's balance on the continuum will be slightly different. Mine might be 89.99 degrees and yours might be 91.92 degrees or whatever. But we all have these we all vibrate differently, right? We're attuned differently because we're vibrating in different divinity, each of us. So we've got all of this stuff in our vortex in this continuum that's seesawing, right? Because we kind of need the seesaw effect, the ripple effect, in order to keep the energy moving. If we were just sitting centered constantly, we stop moving. This is kind of when you become an ascended master, right? You're just like, I am in my I amness, and there is nothing but my I amness, right? And that's when the human experience no longer becomes applicable or relevant to you because you have ascended from that continuum of constant creation. So what happens is we are aligning at any given time, depending on where we are on the seesaw, with various things that are already in our vortex, the things that we already have. The $1 million that you want, you already have it. The love of your life that you really want, you already have it. It is all there sitting in your vortex. You brought everything through with you that you would ever possibly need, and then some. And then some. It's like divinity doesn't know how to pack lightly, right? Let's just put it that way. Divinity does not know how to pack lightly. Or higher consciousness is like, oh, I might need that, and I might need that, and I might need that, and I might need that. realistically, your vortex of creation, I mean, I say that jokingly, but it's infinite, right? Divinity can draw on anything within the entire vortex of creation, the universal vortex of creation. So our capacity to create is limitless in truth. So you are already limitlessly creating. It depends on the energy that you are lining up with as to what you are creating. And what I mean by the energy you are lining up with, I mean, how am I feeling? So let's apply this to a couple of different ideas about what people want to attract into their life. Two of the common things that people want to attract: love and money, pretty much at the top of the list. I want love and I want money. Love, romantic love, right? I want a partner, I want the ideal partner, and I want $1 million in my bank account. These are sort of the two things that people generally want in their life. Interestingly, the two things that are most associated with feelings of lack. Now, there's all sorts of energy in the world that we could contemplate as having an abundance of, right? Think about water. Water is energy, just as money is energy, just as love is energy, right? A relationship. So we want money. Well, like, I want money, I want love, I want those things that I feel I'm lacking in. We don't necessarily feel like we're lacking in water. Right? There's plenty of water. We look around us, there's an abundance of water on the planet. It rains all the time. There's water, 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 water. So we're not constantly running around going, I really want to manifest some water. Where am I going to manifest that next glass of water from? Oh my God, I've got to think about manifesting my water. I will go affirmations. I am somebody who attracts water to me easily and effortlessly. Water flows to me easily and effortlessly. Do you do that? To that extent, are you even often thinking about the food on your table? Most of us don't. Most of us, if we're talking on the internet, on Facebook, sitting in our cozy home, clothed, with internet connection, or on a phone, we are capable of feeding ourselves as well. And we can walk to the grocery store and know that we can get food. Even if we can't get a lot of food that week, or even if it's not going to be the best food, we know that we can get something, right, to fill our belly. But water is the best one, because we see water as being abundant. We look at the oceans, cover 2/3 of the planet, vast, expansive, abundant. Why would we worry about water? We have water, water, water. It falls out of the sky. What are you worrying about water for? Why are you talking about manifesting water? I don't need water. I need money and love. And this is the difference, right? Yes, the water is abundant because we don't think about it. We're not constantly worrying over it as a collective. As a collective, though, we are, because individually we are constantly, we talk about the wealth being controlled by like 3% of the world or something. It keeps narrowing. Allegedly, this is what we're told. So this means that there's a vast proportion of people who are not feeling that they have enough, are not feeling that they have sufficient resource to live their life. They're in lack, right? They're feeling lack. Some might be feeling that money is bad, right? Money creates conflict. Money creates greed. It creates corruption. Money is no good. I don't like the energy of money. So there's a large proportion, a disproportionate proportion of humans on the planet who have an association of money that is lack or that is negative. It's not, it doesn't feel good. They don't vibrate and align with the energy of money in a good way. It feels icky perhaps to them. This is true especially for a lot of healers. So, you've got a massive dichotomy on the planet when you've got all of these people who are here to heal, but they have this massive, massive block when it comes to money and this really strong lack mentality. And, I was there. I absolutely know how that feels, and it's not pleasant, and it essentially takes us off our path. When we're in lack, we are veering off our path. Remember I said to you, when we align with those things in our vortex that are most aligned with our calling, our creation to create our unique self, when we're aligning with those resources, it feels good. Everything feels good. We feel good because those resources are allowing us to create from our calling. It is not the resource itself. So this is the other thing that we need to understand, right? It's not just about, I want the $1 million and I don't have it yet. It's about being able to feel into the feeling of having that $1 million before you have it. It sounds really weird and counterintuitive. And you're like, how? If I haven't had $1 million before, how? Okay. So when we're in that feeling of I don't have it and I want it, then we're in a chasing, we're in a need, we're in lack, right? So we're in that lack energy. I need it, I want it, I feel lack, right? As soon as we feel like I want that, I need that, the need in particular is a lack, right? If we're saying, oh, I really need this, I need that money to pay the bills, I need it, I need it, I need it, I'm going to manifest it, I really, really need it, I'm going to manifest it, I really, really need it. The more you do that, the more you're contradicting yourself, right? Because you're saying, but I don't have it. I don't have it, so it's never going to come, right? There's that constant fear, that constant lack that is going on in the back of your mind, that story, that belief. Instead, what we need to do is actually realize that everything that we have is already there. It absolutely is. It's already there. It always was. We came onto this planet with everything we need already there for the taking. We just need to attune to it. Now, here's the interesting thing. We chase love, right? And we chase money because we feel that we don't have them, and there's a lot of fear around them. There's a sense of security. You know, we feel safe if we have money. We feel safe if we're loved. So we're chasing that sense of safety and security. We're not actually chasing money or the relationship. Do you see the difference? You're not chasing the $1 million, and you're not chasing the soulmate, twin flame, wonderful romantic partner. What you are chasing is the experience of those things, the felt experience of those things, the safety, the security, the comfort, the nurturing, the freedom, the liberation, the abundance of those things. That is what you want. You don't want the $1 million. And that's really hard. You're like, well, hang on, I do want the $1 million because that's what that's going to give me. No, the $1 million won't give you that. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you don't have that felt experience before it comes to you, you will lose it all. It will be gone. It will go. You'll get it and then it'll go. And you'll get it and it'll go. And you'll get it and it'll go. You'll be seesawing like this constantly because you are failing to find your own center. Your own center is home. It is your I am. Like I said, you know, when you get to that place and you're there eternally, well, then you're ascended and your I am is your I am, and that is all that there is. So we're constantly going to seesaw, but the key is to bring it out from here, the seesawing, to a more equilibrium where you are actually more consistently aligning with that knowledge, that knowing, that center, that I am, and I am everything that I need right now, right here in this moment. There is nothing else. I am. If you feel that felt experience, you already have that $1 million. It doesn't matter if there's 2 cents in your bank account, right? That's the third dimensional reality that we get stuck in. That's the tangible stuff that we can touch. But the tangible stuff that we can touch is what we create, right? It's not what it's about. The tangible stuff that we can touch is what we're creating from our felt experience. Does this make sense? It's not. The tangible stuff we can touch is not what makes us who we are. It is what we are making, and it is what we are creating based on our felt experience. So if our felt experience is like, we will create more of that in our container, in our vortex, we will align with that. If what we are creating within ourselves is that sensation, that felt experience of abundance, then we will create that. Being aware of where we are, meeting ourselves where we are, actually meeting ourselves where we are. Most of us do not meet ourselves where we are at all. We have stopped doing it. We have forgotten how to do it. We've switched off from our feelings. We've switched off from those things that are telling us, where am I at? Where am I aligning? What am I aligning with at the moment? What is my felt experience right now? And am I seeking that felt experience outside of myself? You cannot find it outside of yourself. You must create within to create without. It's not the other way around. You can't take other people's creations and expect that they are going to create within you what you want to feel, because they are not your creations. Do you see? We are here to create. That is what lights us up. That is what ignites our souls. Our souls go like crazy. The divinity within us is like, oh, you know, it loves to create. So it will do that in spite of us. It will do that regardless of what we are lining up with. It will create whatever we are calling into ourselves constantly, 24/7. That is how the law of attraction works, through our own divinity, the creative force within us. So we are constantly, 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 constantly. It's like gravity. How do you use the law of attraction? How do you use the law of gravity? It just happens. It's happening all the time, in spite of you or aligned with you. So this is where I always say to people, change the story. What creates our internal state? I'll tell you what creates our internal state: the beliefs and the stories that we carry through with us from our childhood, that we start to collect as we're attuning to our environment, attuning to the energy, and then attuning to language and attuning to the people around us. And we start to collect and gather all of their stories up, and we start to live in their stories. This is why people have such messed up stories, I'm just going to put it out there, around money and love in particular, money and relationships, the two foundational things that we grow up seeing in very dysfunctional ways in a lot of instances. So we see dysfunction around household finances, how they're managed, how our parents argue about them, blah, 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 blah. Money doesn't grow on trees. We're told there's not enough, rah, rah, rah. And we also see dysfunction in relationships. We also forget how to love ourselves. We're chasing love. No one else can give us that. We want love. We want love. We're like, oh, I want that person to love me. That person will complete me. Oh, that person will make me feel loved. They'll make me feel special. They'll make me feel wanted. Oh, that person. Oh, that person. And they come into our life and we're like, oh my God, there it is. I feel it. I feel that love. I feel that instant connection. I feel that, oh my God, it feels so good. And then as time progresses, that person becomes just a human. Suddenly, they're flawed. Suddenly, their stories are butting up against our stories. And there's conflict. And there's this chaos of energy as our stories try to work around one another's stories, and neither of us is aware that we're running our stories, but we're like making it's about you and it's about you, and if only you do this, then I'd feel better. You need to do this and then I'll feel better. You need to do this and I'll feel more loved. Why can't you love me more? That's what I need. That's what I need. Do you see the lack? And where is that lack coming from? Is it the fault of the other person? Why do we expect them to give us something that they feel they too are lacking? Why do we expect another human being, also in lack, also looking for someone to fill that void that they can feel within them, make them feel safe, make them feel loved, make them feel like they belong? If we meet them from our place of lack and wanting somebody to give that to us, them specifically, and they are therefore meeting us in the same energy, because remember, we're attracting what energy we're sitting in. If we're sitting in the vibration of lack, the energy of lack, I don't have it and I want it and I need it and you're going to give it to me, then we're attracting that person who is doing the same. And we're saying to them, you don't have it, I don't have it, but somehow we're meant to give each other that. So does that make sense? So, there's a lot of talk about, and there's that whole thing, you can't love somebody until you can love yourself. We say that, but how much of us actually do it? How many of us are actually seeking that love within ourselves first before we go out looking for it out there? How many of us actually do that? It's the same with our health. How many of us are going out of ourselves constantly, fix me, fix me, fix me, you 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 fix me. When clients work with me, I say to them, I'm not fixing you. I'm not here to fix you because you're not broken. First up, right? That is a belief, right? That is a belief that does not align with your health and wellness, right? So first up, you're not broken and I'm not fixing you. You are taking a journey back home, back to yourself, back to your own self-center, back to your own self-love, back to your own self-awareness, back to your own empowerment in your I am, right? That is the journey that I take you on. I'm not fixing anything because A, you're not broken, and B, I cannot change anything for you. I cannot force you into that self-love and self-acceptance. You need to take the journey there. I'm just the guide. Because that's where we all need to come back to. We all need to come back to the center, to the home, the heart of who we are. That is how we fill the void. By going back and filling it for ourselves, filling our own self, recognizing, connecting, acknowledging, being aware of, and giving ourselves what we need, giving ourselves that. We have the capacity to do that because remember I said before, you were born with that infinite, limitless, expansive connection into the vortex. You can give yourself whatever you need in any given moment. You can give yourself the felt experience of that at any time. I can sit here and be $1 million just like that, regardless of what my financial bank statement says. I can be in that. And the key is when we can stop and be in that, then that is what we start to call to us. That is what we start to create. It's not so much the law of attraction on its own. It's the law of creation in reality, because that's what we're doing. We're not just attracting, we're creating. And then we're pulling those creations to us based on the energy that we're aligning with. Am I aligning with the energy of lack? I'm pulling more lack to me. Am I aligned with the energy of abundance? Do I feel abundant? Do I look around me and go, wow, look at everything I have? Yes, I feel abundant. It's the same with love, right? I can give myself that. You can give yourself that. Nobody else can actually give you that until you are prepared to give it to yourself and receive it from yourself. Because until then, you're not open to the receptive, bring it on. You're still in there chasing down what you feel you don't have and therefore receiving more of what you don't want and don't have or don't feel you have. It's pretty big, but essentially, if you can already embody the felt experience of that thing that you are seeking, if you can already embody that love, then you don't need anything outside of yourself. You already have it. It is already yours. This is how we become truly liberated, truly free, right? Because suddenly, it's not about anything outside of ourselves at all. We are not at the mercy of anything outside of ourselves in terms of our experience of how we feel. We understand it is me. It is me who creates my own felt experience of the world. And in creating my felt experience of the world, I call into me and I attract to me what it is I am creating from that vibration of my felt experience in any given moment. The partial seesawing is actually what gives us this human experience. It's what allows us to create. It's what we need, some friction, right? We need a little bit of resistance in order to create. We need a bit of destruction in order to create. We need all of those things we perceive as negative in order to create. So, implementing it is really just about being aware of how we're walking through the world. Meet yourself where you're at, right? Wake up in the morning and ask yourself, where am I today? Where am I today on that seesaw? Imagine the seesaw. Where am I feeling today on the seesaw? Depending on what you're in that moment, where you are and what you're seeking for yourself. Remember, what you're seeking is already there. You just need to align with it. So where am I lining up with what I'm seeking? For instance, with myself, right? If I want to call in more clients, right? Because my calling, and again, it's about meeting where you're at and recognizing as well where you're at in terms of what feels good for you. What do I want to create? Whatever you want to create, you're compelled to create that because you're called to create it, right? So you don't need to get caught up in like, oh, but I don't know my purpose on the planet. Whatever you feel called to create and compelled to want at that point, there's a reason for that and it's aligning with your purpose, right? So just go with it. If, for instance, like I said, for me, I want to create more clients because that aligns with my calling, right? So I want to call in more clients. I'm like, yeah, I've got room for more clients this month. Let's call some in, right? So I'm like, okay, where am I at on the continuum? What energy do I need to be sitting in order to attract the people that I want to work with, right? Because I'm also discerning about who I work with. I don't want to just work with anybody, right? So I'm discerning, right? So Be discerning about what it is you want. Start to get specific about what it is that you are aligning to, because this will give you more of the felt experience. Does this make sense? The more you can focus on what it is that you want to create and the specifics of that. I want another 2 clients this month, and this is the kind of client that I want to work with, and they're going to be so ready to work with me, and they're going to be like absolutely just in that place where they want to create this change for themselves, and they're ready to take action, and they're going to take action. They're going to have amazing results because they're so ready, and they are just committed to this journey, and I am the perfect guide for them, and they are the perfect traveling companion for me to take on that journey. And we are going to align and have the best time. It's going to be so much fun working with them, and it's going to be amazing celebrating all of their transformations at the end, and it's just going to be incredible. Now, if that's what I want, I need to get up in the morning and I need to align with that, right? So I need to meet myself. I need to go, right, where am I, first of all, on the continuum? Am I over here in that vibration of that beautiful experience with that client? Oh my God, I can feel it, right? I can feel it. Why can I feel it? Because I've had it before. This is the other thing. The thing you're chasing, you've had it before. So you can feel it, right? You know what it feels like. That's why you want more of it, right? You had that moment where you felt like, oh my God, I've got money, or wow, I've got love. You had that moment, right? So that is why you want more of it, because it felt good for you, right? So you know how it feels. You can create that felt experience in yourself, okay? It's about really connecting in, first of all, like I said, meet yourself where I am. So am I here? Am I in the vibration of that fantastic experience with that incredible client? I've had it before, man, and all I need to do really is just, think about those times when I've been celebrating with my other clients and like, wow, oh my God, that just feels amazing, right? And right in this moment now, as I think about that, that's where I am. Where was I when I was talking to you? Well, I was kind of over here in a different part of myself talking about all of this, but do you see how I've moved along the equilibrium, right? In front of you, right in front of your eyes. I'm over here, and then I'm over here. Wait, no, I'm over here. So I've moved along that equilibrium to align and center with that felt experience that I want, because what am I wanting to create? Align with the felt experience of it. There it is. It's right there. I've created it, right? In that moment, I've created it. It's done. And now, just as you would with a glass of water, you get on with your life and you don't constantly dwell on it. You don't constantly think about it. You're not like, oh my God, where are those 2 clients? I called them. I asked for them. I aligned with them. When are they coming? When are they coming? Where are they? They're not here yet. Oh my God, where are they? Where are they? It's like, I'm panicking now. If you're panicking, you've tilted off that equilibrium, off the axis, connected and aligned with that energy. So there's clients that I'm trying to call in now, they can't feel that energy that I had connected into. They're not like, oh, I feel that energy. Yes, right? They're not attuning and aligning to that energy because suddenly I've moved out of it and I've gone way over here into panic and lack. And where are they? Where are they? Where are they? It's not working the way I intended. This is the other thing. We need to let go of the stories of this is how it's meant to be and the expectation of this is how it's meant to be. Trust and surrender. If you can align to the felt experience, then you can trust and surrender to that. And that is all you need to do. If you get up the next day and your felt experience is not aligned with that creation, meet yourself where you're at. Where am I on the equilibrium? Connect in with what you want to create and create the felt experience of it, because that's ultimately what you want to create. You want to create the felt experience. I don't want the 2 clients. Well, that's not true. It doesn't sound right. But in truth, right, it's not about the 2 clients. It's about the felt experience of creating change, right? Creating a ripple effect on the planet, knowing that in 2 more people creating that incredible change for themselves and connecting with their own divinity and recognizing all of this within themselves and who they truly are. And there I am, that is creating this incredible ripple effect out into the world. And that is the felt experience that I want, right? The celebration of their transformation. Why do I want this, the feeling of celebrating my client's transformation? People might think it's the feeling of celebrating that my client paid me. That's what I want. No, I want the felt experience of my clients celebrating their transformation. That is what I attune to, because that is ultimately the felt experience I'm after. Not, it doesn't matter. It's not the money that they're paying me. It's not any of that stuff. It's the felt experience that I want, right? That is attuned to my calling. That is what I'm about. That is what lights me up. That's what brings my soul joy. We have the potential to create heaven here on earth. This is our heaven. There is no other. This is it, right? So, but we have gone so far over the equilibrium into fear, and particularly at the moment, and disconnect and all the other things that come with it. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that comes with fear. When we're not feeling safe, when we're feeling in a state of fear, we feel disconnected, we feel isolated, we feel distrustful, we feel diseased, all of that stuff. So it's so important for us to recognize this as individuals, where we are, where we're at, meeting ourselves there, and then actually starting to give ourselves what it is we need to nurture that felt experience that we are chasing. They would be my big takeaway messages. Really meet yourself where you're at. Think about where you are on that equilibrium. Just imagine it as that metaphor of, the seesawing up and down. Where am I seesawing on that continuum at any given time? Am I allowing myself the felt experience of what it is that I want to create in my world? If I allow myself to create the felt experience of it, then the creation will come. That is how the law of attraction works. If you're trying to meet yourself where you're at and you're struggling and you can't seem to get past things, reach out. There's just so many things out there now that are incredible. There's so many new modalities and tools and processes coming into this area that are incredibly powerful. And to me, there's really no reason anymore for any of us to stay where we're at if we don't like where that is, right? I'm just going to say that again. There's no reason for you to stay where you're at if you don't like where that is. None, right? You have everything you need right now to change whatever it is you want to change for yourself. You absolutely do. Just again, meet yourself where you're at, feel what resonates with you and go for it. Create that change, right? Because then you are aligning with who you are. You are aligning with your own unique I am, and that's what you are bringing to this world. And that's what this world is waiting for you to bring. And it's a journey, it's an ongoing journey, it's a constant journey. But once you have the tools, once you can meet yourself where you're at, once you can talk to yourself in kindness, once you can give yourself that love, and once you can sit in those frequencies, those energies, those felt experiences that you are chasing and that you want, you already have everything. You already have everything you need. You have an abundance and then some. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed my rant about law of attraction and manifesting. Probably wasn't anything like what you were expecting. You might have been expecting me to tell you to go away and do some no, I'm not going to tell you to do that. I'm going to tell you meet yourself where you're at. Think about where you are on that continuum. How am I seesawing today? Where is my energy? And bring yourself back as much as you can to center. And if you're struggling with that, if you've got too many stories getting in the way and muddying that up, reach out. I'm here. Let's have a chat. Let's connect. All right. Take care. Be you. Be the beautiful, unique soul that you are. Thank you, beautiful people. As always, absolute pleasure joining you. And I will see you again very soon here in Wonderland. Bye for now.